Good morning. Today is the 25th of February, 2012, and I'm honored to be sitting with Glen Hovey. Hovey?
Heavy.
Hovey, who is a vet from Navy service back in the 1960s and 70s. Glen, when did you go into the Navy?
1968, actually.
And were you out of college or something at the time? Or?
I graduated through a Navy program that was associated with college, where I went to an officer candidate school during the summers for 2 summers.
Was that like V2 or V12 or V5 or something like that?
ROC is what it was called.
Okay, Reserve Officer. Okay.
Candidate, yeah. And upon graduation from college at BYU, then I was commissioned to the Navy and sent to Norfolk and joined my ship.
What ship?
The Bory, DD 704, out of Norfolk, Virginia. Mm-hmm.
And what type of a ship was that?
A destroyer.
Destroyer. Okay. See, I'm in the Army, so
Okay.
Glad you guys were around, though. Anyway.
Right.
And did you left from Norfolk aboard ship?
We did, around through the Panama Canal and up to San Diego, and we'd come through a couple of storms, and we were ready to get off for a few days R&R in San Diego, and as soon as we hit the pier, an earthquake hit us. And the pier was just shaking worse than the ship was.
Were they trying to tell you something?
I guess so. So then off to Vietnam for a year.
Mm-hmm. And where were you in the Vietnam area?
Well, we had 2 assignments up in the Gulf of Tonkin, trailing the aircraft carriers. And then near Phan Thiet, Vietnam, up a river, we did gunfire support for the Marines ashore.
Not one of those swift boat deals, was it?
We had swift boats that come alongside, and we'd feed them and give them a shower. And
was John Kerry one of your favorites back then?
Didn't know him then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you say you're up the Gulf of Tonkin. How soon after the war started? That's where the whole thing was precipitated.
Well, the war was pretty hot there in 1968. The war, I think it started in '64. So.
But you're of the Gulf of Tonkin, and that's right up in the middle of the enemy territory.
Well, that's when we were flying into North Vietnam and bombing and coming back, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let me ask a little bit about, I'll get back to your military career, but I'm interested in your ancestors. Where are you? Are you from Utah? You were born in Utah or something?
No, I was born in St. Louis, actually, and my family, the Hoveys, are basically from New England, and there were 2 brothers, Hoveys, that coming through the Midwest met the missionaries and baptized and joined the church in Nauvoo.
So when they came to New England, they were not LDS. How long ago was this?
Well, our family goes way back into the late 1600s.
Hoveys?
Came over from England. So.
Okay.
And then settled in New England.
Did they settle in New England?
Yes.
Do you know where they were in New England?
Oh, well, New Hampshire, Connecticut, in that area. Mm-hmm.
You've been back and
We've been back through there, yeah.
Okay. So then when was it they came out and became LDS? In the 1850s or 60s?
1842.
They came out in the very first ones to come over. They went through Nauvoo, you said?
Yeah. The 2 brothers lived in Nauvoo. And
these were Hovey brothers.
Hovey brothers,
okay.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And they married after they got out here?
Yes.
And what was, well, these are like great-grandparents, weren't they?
Right.
I'm more interested in what is your wife's maiden name?
Maiden name?
Yeah.
Spendlove.
Spendlove. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, where did they come from?
She's from Missouri.
I mean, way back before that.
Way back. Well, she has Indian ancestry, Cherokee and Chickasaw.
Was she from Tennessee or Mississippi, Alabama,
Part
Florida?
of the family, yes. Through the Trail of Tears.
Oh, yes.
The Indians were not all that dumb. They said, we're coming through Missouri, through this Trail of Tears. They said, why don't we just step off the trail and go hide in the back hills of the Ozarks and establish families there? And a lot of them did that.
And that's where her family?
That's where part of her family is from. Her other name was Gaddy, which is German. So part of her family came from Germany, too.
Well, this was your grandmother? No, it must have been before that. Mm-hmm. The Cherokee part of it, how far back was that on her side?
I'm not exactly sure.
Okay, well,
quite a ways back. Mm-hmm.
Where did you meet your wife?
Well, this is a second marriage now.
Oh, okay, all right.
So we met in Bountiful, Utah, that she lived there at the time. And we actually had a 2-year long-distance courtship because I lived in New Jersey at the time.
How did you meet her?
At church.
I-
And
In Bountiful?
I was visiting
Then
my mother.
Oh, you were visiting there, I see.
Yeah.
Well, that was quite a visit, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That you met your future wife.
And she said she'd never wanted to move to New Jersey. So in the interim, I was reassigned by my company. I worked for the Bell Telephone to an assignment in Italy. So that's where we corresponded, and she came over and visited one time, and then we were married after I was there for about a year, and then we were married in Salt Lake, and then she came to Italy to live with me for the remainder of that assignment, and then we went to New Jersey.
You did?
Back
you,
home.
You wound up in New Jersey then?
Yes.
Is she still with you?
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay. Do you have children, grandchildren?
There she is, right
Oh,
there.
this is she. Okay. Once again, what's that last name? Her maiden name?
Well, Spendlove. mentioned.
Spendlove. Okay, I hadn't heard that one before.
Uh-huh.
Well, now,
Okay.
let's talk more about your military career, because that's what you're here for. That we wanted to. Any stories you would like to tell us about experiences you had that were either fun or maybe not so fun, or?
There was one story that was interesting, or part of the same thing. We were doing gunfire support for the Marines, and basically what they needed us to do is to lob a few shells ashore at night to keep the Viet Cong from coming in. And we had a Marine spotter out in the jungle. He'd call in a location, and we'd drop a shell or two there. And we'd always ask him, very quietly, of course, he couldn't speak up very loud, "Did we hit anything?" He said, "No." He said, "You dug another latrine for me. That was fine."
Okay. I thought you were going to tell me about some accidents of friendly fire, because I had a good friend who had somebody spotting for him. I think he was an artillery battalion commander, something like that. And there was misspotting, and they did have some tragic friendly fire stuff, which does happen.
We didn't have an incident like that.
But you did support the swift boats going up the river and all that sort
We
of
did.
stuff. And well, are you satisfied that your Vietnam experience was not only valuable for you, but valuable for the country? Or
I believe so. I think we gave support where it was needed, and maybe saved some lives. And
when you came back home, did you feel any of the pressure that so many people felt bitter towards the veterans that came back from Vietnam?
I came back to Washington, D.C. area, and personally, no, I didn't see any particular animosity.
But you heard about that, didn't
I
you?
heard about it, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what do you want to tell your grandchildren about the fact that someday they may have to face situations where we have to fight again?
We feel I'm patriotic, and we love this country, and if we're called to serve, then we should serve.
Would you consider yourself a constructive optimist that the United States, its people, our background and everything will enable us to work our way through the difficulties that we're faced in around the world today?
Yes, I think eventually. I think we may stub our toe here and there, and as we've already done, but in the long run, I think this will work out.
Well, sir, I think you're right too, and I want to thank you for talking with us. It's been
Thank
a
you.
pleasure. Thank
Okay.
you. I will sit here a minute or two.